Hey, YouTube family. Thanks for viewing my content. Thanks for joining. I do want to take this time to say that I will be giving out this iPhone 15 Pro unlocked. I believe it's blue color, 256 gig, to a lucky winner who subscribes, likes this video, and also leaves a comment. So please take this time to go ahead, subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. And then at the end of the month, December 31st, I will be randomly selecting a viewer, and that person will be the lucky winner. All right, so thank you. Like I said, again, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. And now let's get to our content. All right, guys, so let's talk about the iPhone 15 Pro Max here. I'm a huge Apple fan, so that's, let's get that out of the way. And also do have a few Android phones because I'm a tech nerd. So it's one of those things that you sometimes just gotta battle with. But as far as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, here are my true thoughts. Really great phone as far as the weight. The reliability so far seems fine to me. I'm not really seeing any crazy scratches or any damages on my phone. There are times that I take my phone without the case, but there are times I also take the case because I don't want to find out the hard way. But yeah, so as far as reliability goes, seems fine to me so far. The weight of the phone is my favorite part because I feel like it did take down a lot of weight from the phone compared to the previous model. Because there's a titanium build, so it's definitely worth it for your pockets. It's easy to carry. As far as easy to hold, I wouldn't say it's a true fact because still a one-hand operation is still kind of hard. I have a big set of hands here, but even then for me it's sometimes hard to reach the corners. I wish they kind of shrinked that a little bit more and kind of make a bigger version for folks who do one really big screen, but it would have been nice to have a medium build in comparison to the 15 Pro and the Pro Max. I wish they had a between selection or option, I should say, but they obviously don't. But yeah, as far as if you're looking for a phone that's easy to reach and easy to get to all the buttons from the top to bottom, obviously the Pro Max isn't for you. I would suggest the Pro, but the Pro Max is obviously it's easier to see things. If you're constantly using your phone for work, emails, and reading a lot of contents, for that scenario, yes, the Pro Max will definitely take the win. As far as having to carry around, you don't really use it for a lot of work, and you just don't read a lot of stuff, but watch social media and messaging and all that stuff, then a 15 Pro or the Pro series in itself should be fine. The battery, you got to keep that in mind too. Pro Max obviously have the bigger battery, so in relation to that, you get more usability for the day if you have a Pro Max versus the Pro. So it's another thing you got to consider if you don't like charging. If you don't have a situation where you're always charging, the Pro Max might be a better choice for you in this way. You're not always plugging it in to charge and all that stuff. So though, what I'm trying to say is there's always pros and cons, right? So my thing is that this phone is meant for people who utilizes the phone a lot on a day-to-day basis. So that's when I would suggest using this phone. This phone may not be for you if you're not always on the phone. If you're just randomly checking phones for messaging, occasional, YouTube and calls, like it's not heavy per minute situation, then a Pro might be okay for you. And obviously you save a little money on the side too, as far as getting the Pro versus Pro Max. So yeah, so my opinion is that I'm not a big fan of the size, but I do use it for work a lot. So that's why I think it's unfortunately the best choice for me for my day-to-day, even though I'm not a big fan of the size and the reachability. But but it does a trick for me as far as being able to read my emails and all that stuff. As far as the feel goes, it feels really good. I like the curved edges this time around than the 14 Pro Max in the previous edition, so it definitely feels good. Still a little slippery in my hands. So when you, especially I live in the cold area, so if it's cold out there and if it's snowing and all that situations, it might slip off your hands pretty easily, or it might slip off your pockets pretty easily. So something to consider as far as that goes. So that's when I would suggest having a silicone case or some sort of a case to protect that accidental drops. But yeah, if you don't put a case and you're not a big fan of case on the phone, it's not bad. But yes, do keep in mind that the titanium build on the side here is slippery, and if it does fall, most likely it's going to damage the front side or the rear of the phone, depending on how it falls. But yeah, something to consider as far as that. It may be worth getting a case, unless you want to live wild, and then I suggest getting at least the warranty on it, just so that if you do break it, it'll be kind of a little bit cheaper to replace parts. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the feeling point of things. As far as the camera qualities and all that good stuff, I do see a minor change compared to 14 Pro Max. I wouldn't say is really big different to make that jump. So if you have a 14 Pro Max currently, I would suggest keep it, and then possibly wait for the next year, because I feel like every 2 years is when Apple comes out with a little more bigger change to be worth moving up to the next model. So I'm a nerd, so I like to change my phones every year because I like to play around with them and see what's different and all that good stuff. But if you're in the decision point of like, well, the 15 Pro Max has been out for a while, should I maybe try it on, or maybe should I just give it my phone? And plus you see a million commercials out there with prompting you to switch your phone. So again, if you're in a 14 Pro Max situation, I wouldn't suggest, because the 14 Pro Max is still pretty good. The battery's probably still good, so you can push another year until next year for the 16 and then upgrade then. But if you're running any previous models like 13 Pro Max and such, then sure, yeah, it makes sense because you already waited 2 years, or you have a model that's 2 years old now. So it makes sense for you to upgrade, try something different, and obviously you'll start seeing the difference in the cameras and the battery performance and the chip performance, all that good stuff. And obviously, like I said, this year the biggest thing is the weight, for me at least, and obviously the USB-C is another huge thing. So as far as that goes, yes, it's a good jump if you have a 13 Pro Max and under for you to upgrade. 14, you already got a lot of cables laying around, so you might as well push another year, because this USB-C is definitely going to be on the phone moving forward. I don't think they're planning on changing it back to any other methods moving forward. So if you don't upgrade this year, you still have enough cables and all the accessories laying around your car and your house, so you may not need to jump and get the USB-C upgrade for that reason. So I would suggest waiting it if you have a 14 Pro Max. If you do upgrade, yes, there's a lot of benefits as far as the weight goes and the USB-C goes. And even in my day-to-day, I see the big difference having USB-C, since every application around my house and in the car has USB-C already. So it's nice to use that existing cable to charge my phone and have less clutter, I guess, with the wires. I don't really use heavy on wireless charging since it takes a while. Heats up the phone sometimes, especially if you're in the middle of a call and you're trying to charge and talk at the same time. Phone might give you a warning saying, hey, it's getting overheated. Or if you're watching YouTube and you're trying to charge wirelessly, it gets overheated pretty fast. So yeah, I don't really use wireless charging. Let's put it that way. I do use the MagSafe option though. This option right here is definitely worth it. It's all the accessories you can use and the car display hold and all that good stuff. It's really amazing technology that they have came out with. So that's something I always constantly use. As far as the audio quality and the call quality and stuff, I feel like the speaker definitely gotten louder for sure. It's a lot more louder than 14 Pro Max, and probably a lot more louder than the 13 Pro Max. So it's definitely better. Call, like the reception and all that good stuff. 5G, that scenario, I'm not seeing much of a big difference, even though they have updated the antennas in this model. I'm not really seeing much of a huge difference in my area. At least I'm still having some issues with sometimes during the call 5G going off, and then my call sometimes getting disrupted. But LTE is my choice. It helps constantly being connected. I don't need super fast data every single time, and I do need it for personal hotspot and stuff like that. Then that's when I switch it back to 5G. So not only I get to save some battery and stuff, but it's also worth switching it only if you need to. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, all in all, my thought is, yes, a great phone. Would I upgrade if I got the opportunity? Probably wouldn't. Or if I could go back, I guess I wouldn't upgrade to 15 Pro Max. I probably would have waited. But again, yeah, if you upgrade, you do see some benefits. Your pictures might look a little better, easier in your pockets as far as the weight goes. USB-C functionality, really good. And then the speaker quality has a little bump, so there goes that. As far as the display and the brightness, all that stuff is the same like the 14 Pro Max. Again, like I said, you might see a lot more benefits if you're coming from 13 Pro Max or under. So if you're on that page and you're able to upgrade for a good deal, or it's if you have the money in your pockets and you want to spend that money and then upgrade anyways, I would suggest to those team or those population that yes, it's worth upgrading to 15 Pro Max. If you have a 14 Pro Max, hold it down. Don't let your friends or YouTube channels convince you otherwise to upgrade. I'll probably hold on to it for another year and then upgrade next year with way better options, I'm sure, and a lot more kicks. So, and it'll definitely be worth your money at that point too. So again, thank you all for staying put to this channel. Just want to be honest about some of these things. So hope you like my content. If you do, please like, subscribe, and feel free to add any comments and share your thoughts about if you have a 15 Pro Max. What are your thoughts? Feel free to add any stuff that I may have missed. Again, I didn't go into detail about this phone yet. Stay tuned. I will get into more details about some of the features and things that you can modify within this phone or within the iOS update. So stay tuned. Like I said, please subscribe, like, and add your comments, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.